The ballroom shimmered with chandeliers, laughter, and the clink of champagne flutes. Dressed in a simple navy blue dress and holding a small silver clutch, Evelyn Carter, a retired schoolteacher from Georgia, stood quietly near the corner, her kind eyes scanning the opulence around her. She was here not for the wealth, nor the grandeur. She was here for her son, Elijah Carter, the celebrated CEO of Novarise Technologies, a black-owned tech giant on the verge of closing a $900 million acquisition with one of the largest white-owned conglomerates in the world, Vandermoor Enterprises. Elijah had come a long way. Raised by a single mother in a modest two-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, he knew the weight of every sacrifice Evelyn made, working double shifts, skipping meals, and saying, "We already ate," when food was scarce. She was his compass, his grounding force, and his greatest pride. That night, he brought her to the final celebration dinner as an honored guest. "You built this, Mama," he whispered before entering the hall, kissing her hand. But not everyone saw her worth. As Elijah excused himself to handle some business calls, Evelyn wandered gently toward the dessert table. A few feet away, a woman in diamonds and silk gave her a tight-lipped smile, then leaned toward her husband. "Look at that woman," she whispered, not quietly enough. "She must be housekeeping. How did she even get in here?" Her husband, Charles Vandermoor, chuckled. "Don't worry, darling. Probably a guests plus one. These people like to bring charity cases. It's endearing, really." Evelyn's smile faltered. Her hands trembled around her clutch. But she didn't respond. Dignity had always been her silent armor. Moments later, the Vandermoor's daughter spilled her wine near Evelyn and snapped, "Oh, could you clean that up? You people are usually good at that sort of thing." The room stilled. A few murmurs. A few stifled laughs. No one intervened. Elijah returned just as Evelyn was walking away, head low, face unreadable. He didn't need her to explain, he had seen enough. He walked straight to the podium. The music dimmed. Conversation stopped. "I'd like to say something," he said, voice calm but unshakable. "Before we toast the largest acquisition in tech history, $900 million, I want to share a quick story." He gestured to his mother, who stood uncertainly beside the curtains. "This woman," he said, "raised me with pennies in her purse and a galaxy in her heart. She taught me to read when the schools wouldn't help. She cleaned homes when her back ached. She sacrificed everything, everything, so I could stand here in front of you tonight." A hush fell over the room. "And tonight, some of you decided she was unworthy. That she didn't belong here. That her presence disrupted your image of wealth and prestige." People shifted uncomfortably. The Vandermoors glanced nervously at one another. Elijah took a deep breath. "So I'm making a decision. One that has nothing to do with profit margins or quarterly reports. I'm walking away from this deal." Gasps echoed across the room. "Elijah," Charles began, but Elijah raised a hand. "I will not sell my company to people who belittle the very foundation of who I am. You don't get to benefit from me while insulting the woman who made me." The next morning, headlines exploded. CEO Elijah Carter cancels $900 million deal over mother's public humiliation. Power. Pride. Principle. A son's loyalty shakes Wall Street. Investors were stunned, but not for long. Within 48 hours, Novarise was flooded with support. Share prices skyrocketed. Brands called him a hero. Schools invited him to speak. And everyday people, especially young black men and women, saw in Elijah something rarely spotlighted: dignity over dollars. Weeks later, Evelyn sat on her porch in Georgia, rocking gently in a chair Elijah had built in college. Elijah knelt beside her with a smile. You taught me to know my worth, Mama. She took his hand, eyes glistening. No, baby. You taught the world to see it. Sometimes, the most powerful stand isn't made in boardrooms, but in honoring the people who built you, who loved you when you had nothing, and who deserve to be seen, always, with dignity.